Hi guys, welcome back to the Big Sew Along. I'm Jenny, and as always, I thank you very much for choosing to spend some time with me. I am looking at myself carefully in the viewer today because Road, is that right? At Road 05206 commented last week that my glasses were causing some weirdo shadows, and she was right. I didn't notice it when I was recording. I definitely noticed it when I watched it back. So I can't really tell now, but I think it's better. If it's not, it's not. But the last thing I need is more shadows right around here, right? The other thing is, last week I was talking about doing some scrap sewing, and I attempted to do some scrap sewing. First, I started off by trying to finish something that was in my scrap pile. This fabric has been in my stash for a really long time. I don't know what it is. It's a quilting cotton. It's very bright floral. It's really not my thing. The colors are, but the floral really isn't. This is, this was supposed to be the Maker's Atelier. I think it's just called the overshirt. They have a few different shirt dresses. This was the first one they came out with, and I bought it a really long time ago. I bought the pattern a really long time ago. I got it about halfway finished, and somehow it ended up in my scrap pile. So this week I pulled it out and started to finish it and realized that it ended up in my scrap pile because I don't like this at all. I don't know if I cut the wrong size or what. This top is really full in the shoulders. It's a cocoon shape, but it's really big in the shoulders, and it gets really pretty narrow at the hip. So that one definitely is gonna stay in the scrap pile. It's just scrap from now on. The other thing I did, you guys, is I can't remember which pattern this is, but I'll link them below if anybody cares. I made this little bralette thing. Again, these are scraps. And then I made this one. I got this far. All it needs is the straps. But I got this far on this one, and I remembered that I hate sewing bras and underpants. I try to do it on occasion because I feel like it's a really good way to use up these jersey scraps, but I don't enjoy it in the least. So I just think I'm not going to do it anymore. My camera keeps clicking off, so if this video seems a little disjointed, that's what the problem is. The good news is that a lovely viewer named Venus left me a comment in last week's video saying that she loves sewing with scraps and she would love to buy my scraps if I wanted to send them to her in Florida. I do not want to sell them to Venus. I just want to give them to her. I want them to go someplace where somebody will use them. And I left her a message. So Venus, if you haven't seen your message yet, contact me via Instagram or in the messages, and we will figure out a way to get those scraps to you. I would like to be the kind of person who doesn't have scraps, who doesn't buy too much fabric, who doesn't throw anything away, who uses it all, but I am not. I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself to be that person, and it's just not, that's just not how I work. So anyways, I am thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled that Venus, or anybody else for that matter, wants my scraps, and I'm happy to send them to them. So aside from that, I spent most of the week avoiding sewing because I didn't want to sew with any scraps. Which means that I was making plans. And I went over to the OSCO website. You guys may remember I did a video at the very beginning of my YouTube career. I think it was videos 3 and 4. I made 2 OSCO inspired garments, and I used Merchant & Mills patterns for both of those. One of those things I still have in my wardrobe. The top I still have, and I still wear. The pants I still have, but I remade them. So yeah, so this week I have some sewing plans for you. The OSCO website, like I started to say, had a bunch of, they have all their fall stuff out now, so which is very exciting for those of us in the northern hemisphere anyway. So the very first thing I saw on their website was this dress here. And I'll show you this. It looks like sort of like a long sleeve, straight sort of shift dress, hangs below the knee. And you can't see it in this picture, but she's wearing it just with a pair of loafers or Oxfords or something. I have another picture of just the dress. You can see there's like a little buttonhole loop at the back, but there really aren't any other details on it. In the first picture, she's got some sort of a belt or something tied around it, which, I mean, I would just eliminate that. I don't particularly like belts, and I don't like things hanging because it's just uncomfortable. So, but I have a couple of ideas for patterns to use for this. I have this dress called, this is from Maker's Atelier, and I think it's called, I have it right here. It is called the Relaxed Drawstring Dress. You can see I cleaned up my sewing room too. I cleaned up my bulletin board so I can put my fall plans on it. I only have four outfits. So the Relaxed Drawstring Dress, I think, has the right neckline and the right, like, ease in the body. It does have this funky, like, elastic bungee cord thing in the front and in the back, like right near the waist. I would probably eliminate that. Now, a lot of the Maker's Atelier things come in like a sort of a cocoon shape. They all come in a little bit at the bottom. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. So I have to take a closer look at this pattern and see if that does. If it does, then that is not what I want to use. There also might be a waistline seam in this dress. So it's a possibility. The other pattern I could use for this is, I thought about using the Sew House 7 Remy raglan tee. It seems to have a good amount of ease. It has long sleeves. It's a raglan, which the inspiration isn't, but that's okay. And I could just make that longer, and that could work. Or I also have, you will remember that I have the t-shirt tunic from Tropical Research that I made a while back. That would just need to be lengthened, and I could also lengthen the sleeves a little bit if I wanted to, or I could just leave them at elbow length, which is also probably fine. So, the fabric I have for that is another blue plaid linen. This one is, like, it's blue on blue, so there are parts that look almost purpley. And my thought was to wear that dress with the leggings that I just finished, which are this color of blue. And you wouldn't see a lot of them. I would just be wearing it with boots anyways. So let me know what you think about the pattern choices and which one you like better for that particular look. The next look I have, oh, you know what? And I have a picture of you, for you, of my drawing of how I hope it will look when it's done. Okay, so the next one is this outfit right here. Sort of a tapered leg baggier pant with an oversized shirt. Looks like a mock neck kind of shirt. The pants, I think I'm going to use the Eve trousers from Merchant and Mills. I did use those for my very first Oscar make for this channel, whenever that was, 2020, I think. And I think for that, I will be using my hot pink corduroy, which I can't stop talking about and I'm still madly in love with. For the top, I have two options. I already have both of these patterns. I have made the first one. The first one is the Maker's Atelier, the Big Easy top. And I have a picture of that for you here. And then I also have the Tobias Conrath, I think this is just called the sweatshirt. So I would use one of those patterns. And the fabrics for the tops, I haven't really decided yet. I have this purple, which is just a cotton jersey. Or I have this peachy pink, which is a French terry. And I think I could do either or both of those. I think the purple probably looks more fall. I will probably be wearing that with my blue boots. So maybe I don't know if that makes any difference. But let me know what you think about the top choices, about the pattern choices. I'd be interested in knowing which one you think is better for that. And here again is another drawing of what I hope it kind of looks like when we're finished. The next outfit is, let's see, it is this one here. Now, I apologize because it's kind of hard to see what's going on in this picture, but she has a shirt on and a pair of pants that are a little bit, they're looser in the leg. They're not super baggy though. And she has a little jumper kind of thing. And here's a picture of the jumper by itself. It looks pretty slim in this picture, but as you can see from that first picture, it's actually not. So my idea for this, and I think this is a pretty good, I think I'm pretty solid on this plan except for one part. I think for the tunic part, the over part, I am going to use the So Liberated, the So Liberated Studio Tunic. That pattern was gifted to me by Karen, and I haven't yet made it, but I think it's really perfect for this. And I think for the pants, since I'll be working with So Liberated anyway, I think I'll use the Arenite pants from So Liberated for the pants. For the fabrics for these, I have this really nice, this looks really fuchsia in my camera, but it's actually more of like a raspberry color. And it is a viscose noil. I can't remember. It's either viscose or rayon noil, and I got this fabric recently from Blackbird Fabrics. They have it in a bunch of different colors. So I was going to use this for the Arenite pants because it's got really nice drape for that. And then I have a little bit of this paler pink linen that I could use for the studio tunic. And my thought was to just wear this over a white t-shirt. I'm not sure I have enough of this fabric, and I'm not sure if it's my favorite choice yet. So the tunic is still up in the air color-wise or fabric-wise, but I'm definitely doing the Arenite pants in this fabric. Then my very last one, and I sort of started talking about this last week because I was talking about this fabric, which is this, the red and white sort of gauzy fabric that I showed you guys last week. I was originally going to use this to do the, I think it's called the crawly from Merchant & Mills, but my inspiration picture for this is this picture right here. And this shirt is pretty much a flat front. It just has a button placket like to about midway down the shirt, or like, you know, just under the bust. And it does have a collar. I think that because this doesn't have a lot of pockets or facings or anything like that, I think that this is probably it also doesn't have gathers or anything. I think this is maybe a better choice for this fabric, at least I'm hoping. And my feeling is that I can use the Merchant & Mills Ellsworth top and just lengthen it so that it comes to just below the knee. And then for the pants on this, I think I will probably make, I'm going to make I have some red lightweight like viscose twill coming from Emma Wansock that I thought was going to be here today. That I'm hoping will go with this. And once I get that, then I can determine which pants I want to make to go with this top. And again, I have another picture for you of my drawing of what I hope it will look like. Anyways, that is, those things are my current plans. Anyways, I don't usually plan a whole lot in advance because I find that if I have a ton of stuff planned, like I have done it before where I've just made a stack of fabric and a stack of patterns that I want to use for them and put them together and put them on the side of my table. And I think I'm going to go through them one by one and get them done. And I get through 2 or 3 and then I put them all away and start over again. On the other hand, if I don't make plans at all, I end up making a bunch of random stuff that doesn't work together, and that is also not great. So I have four outfits, and I hope that that is a good number. I'm also hoping that because I have outfits that are going together, that'll inspire me to actually make both pieces. Or if I have something already, it'll inspire me to make the piece that I'm gonna make to go with it. We'll see how it goes. You never know. It's all a journey. Alright guys, I think that is about it this week. For anybody who is interested but hasn't seen it yet, Haptic and Hue is back with their next season of their podcast. I think the first episode came out like the first week of the month. As always, it's really good. I also just started listening to something Kate from the Foldline recommended, this podcast called Articles of Interest, and I'll leave links to both of those below. That one is also really good. They deal a lot with clothing and fabric and all kinds of stuff like that you might be interested in. So I'll leave a link to both of those below. Alright guys, that is it for me this week. Thank you so much for stopping by, and until next week, I wish you all happy sewing.